This is a Dirt Trax exclusive.
What's up, Dirt Trax Nation? Luke here, bringing you guys a walk around video on a very, very cool new unit. Something we literally have had just an afternoon's worth of experience with. We are going to get one later on, but for right now, I got an opportunity to come down to Segway's dealer intro, which is a few hours from my house, and try out the new Super Villain. And this is it right here. It's what you're looking at. I can't even begin to describe you how excited I was to come and do this and get a chance to try something that really not a lot of people have had their hands on. So it was a really great honor for us to do that. We appreciate the guys from Segway allowing us to do it. But here you go. This is the Super Villain. It is quite the unit. It has, I don't know, just an overly imposing look to it when you get up close to it. It doesn't do it justice here on camera, but it's significantly bigger than what it looks like. I mean, those are 32s and they really don't look that gigantic on this thing. But it's a pretty impressive vehicle. My first impressions of it were that the build quality is top notch, which I've actually noticed Segway, pretty much everything they build is really, really nicely built and put together. Very nicely designed, but all the plastics fit nice, all the metal parts the welds are all nice. But the Super Villain is definitely on a different level from that perspective. So I just wanted to give you guys a quick opportunity to check it out, go over some specs, let you guys know some of the details on it, and maybe just discuss a few of my first impressions after a bunch of laps on their test track. We'll experience all of this together. We are going to get one and do a full test ride on it here shortly, so stay tuned for that. But for right now, let's just do a quick walk around. So specs-wise, what is a Super Villain? Well, it's not just a villain with more horsepower. It is definitely not that. It is a completely new vehicle from the ground up. Most important spec that everyone wants to know, and obviously if you look up here, you're going to see that little turbo logo, if you can see it in the sun. That indicates that this thing has, guess what, a turbo, but it is a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine with a gear-on-gear automatic paddle shift transmission. It is not a dual clutch transmission as far as I can tell, but it shifts fairly well. But yeah, it's a 4-cylinder. It's, you know, obviously there's only one other one in the industry that's like this, but this is how it comes from the factory, and hopefully it's not too many shadows in there. But there's your turbo. The engine is tucked up really far up inside, you know, into the bodywork. You can see when you look at it from the side where the motor is, kind of starts there and then goes up to about here. So it's really tucked into the middle of the vehicle, which is pretty cool. It's well protected, it's out of the way. Look at the size of the exhaust on this thing. It's freaking massive. That was one thing that really stood out to me, was the size of the exhaust, among other things. So let's continue our walk around. So 4-cylinder, it makes 235 horsepower. This is the 3rd highest horsepower side-by-side in the industry right now. Power delivery is great. Power's great, engine sounds good. It has a really pleasing sound to it. Yeah, hard to describe much more than that after the testing I've done, but it really pulls hard. Again, it's got a automatic car-style transmission. So it is shifting gears. It has auto with the paddles, sorry, auto and then manual with paddles. It does have, as you can see, sway bars front and rear, but look at the size of the suspension arms on this thing. They are huge. They're so massive. It's 72 inches wide, so it is reasonable width. Obviously wider than a 64, but it's still reasonable for it to be able to fit in a lot more places than some of these newer crazy wide units are. So that's kind of good. I like that. Man, as I'm just looking at it from this angle, it is massive. It's so big. Suspension wise, you've got 4-link, I'll go around the back here, you can see it from the back, 4-link trailing arms, and the links are gigantic as well. Look at the size of those things. They are so beefy. Your drive axles are just giant as well. They need to be with that much horsepower. And then you can see here the trailing arms are humongous trailing arms with huge hubs. You know, obviously go way down up into the front. You got your sway bar here, and then the like crazy long shocks. Like they go way up inside with probably the biggest piggyback reservoirs I've ever seen. But if I can get up here closer, maybe the front would be better. High and low speed compression and rebound adjustment. So these are fully adjustable shocks with dials all at the top. Kind of nice, you don't have to reach down the bottom. Dual rate springs, as you can see, which is nice. And they are threaded preload adjustable, which would be pretty hard to do, I think, up in there, but you can adjust the preload and it's threaded, so pretty adjustable. Look at the space down in here, eh? You could put like put a storage bin for snacks down in there. Maybe the world's largest muff pot to cook up your lunch while you're driving. Moving around, bodywork is all very nice. It's got a really aggressive look to it. Where a lot of companies right now are going to more square edges, this one is more kind of, I'm gonna call it swoopy, which is a goofy word, but you get what I mean, more rounded edges. Kind of has an organic look, almost animalistic, reptilian, I guess. But again, look at the front suspension arms here. Double arms up front. They are humongous. Tubular welded, you know, double layer at the bottom there for extra strength. Interestingly, they are not arched in the front. I don't know if that's the same as others or not. Again, gigantic shocks in the front, long reservoirs, fully adjustable. You can see it a little bit better here, but fully adjustable. It has 20 inches of suspension travel front and rear. So not exactly class leading, but after riding it on the track that they had set up here, I can categorically say that it's enough. It feels really, really good. The suspension is crazy plush. Overall, the vehicle itself is just really predictable, really nice to ride. I enjoyed myself. I think it's a great unit so far with just the limited testing I've done. As I said, you've got 32s from the factory with real beadlock wheels, 15-inch real beadlocks, which is super nice. They're nice looking. The brand is Obor, I think. And these are called the Light Step 2.0s. You know, as much as, you know, we can probably chuckle about that because we don't know what this is, they're a really good tread pattern. They got great traction in the sandy kind of loamy stuff that we were driving in today. I had no trouble with that. Very predictable as well. Overall, the vehicle itself, like, it corners really good. It's big, so the turning radius is really big. That's pretty much just the way it is for these vehicles when they're this long and this wide. The turning radius is going to be large, but when you got it sideways in the grass or in the dirt, it really, like, it did what you wanted it to do and didn't get out of control at all. And I really liked that, so I was very, very impressed. This graphic here, 2000 DOHC double overhead cam. What else can we talk about? So roof is standard. I really like all these pieces too, like this little plastic fascia piece right here. That's cool. That's stuff that Segway does that not a lot of people do, but it gives it a real kind of desert truck vibe to it, kind of like, it makes it look more finished. It makes it look more factory, in my opinion, as opposed to just having a roof on top of a roll bar. So it definitely gives it a cooler, higher end, more finished look. Even pieces like this here on the bodywork, how it kind of covers some of the roll cage and just adds a bit of style. You got these little boots here, these plastic pieces that integrate. They are rubber, but they integrate really nicely. You can see the one on this side. The roll cage down into the bodywork and create kind of a seal. It doesn't seal, but it just looks better finished than having a gaping hole in the plastic, you know what I mean? Standard bumper, comes with a winch, winch control, inside wireless winch controls included. Let's see, your hubs in the front here are pretty beefy too, giant, looks like forged aluminum. And then one thing I really wanted to talk about was the brakes. Now, this has 3 piston calipers in the front and 2 piston calipers out back. So serious braking force. And I tested that out today pretty good, and it brakes hard. Really, really impressed with the braking. I like that the frame members here, you can kind of see it sticking through the plastic in the wheel well. That's just a cool stylistic thing. I mean, they could have easily covered that up, but it gives it a really cool kind of tube frame feel that I really like. And then of course your frame member here comes out in a rock rail sort of style piece down here. It's not actually a frame rail, but it looks like one. And then just the frame pieces sticking out and the roll bar up here. You know, you've got your color matched bumpers that also kind of mimic the frame as well. They're not, but they mimic it. That's pretty cool. Very basic bumpers. Look at the size of the exhaust can on this thing though. I mean, that literally is the size of a carry-on suitcase. So when people say you've got a suitcase on the back here, side by side, they're not kidding. Interesting dump box layout, not dump box, interesting cargo box layout. So it's a really good sized cargo box. It's surprising how big it is. obviously with the vehicle being so big, it's going to have a good sized cargo box. But you can see you've got tie down points in 4 corners. There is a ton of space in here, more than I think any other sport side-by-side I've ridden, driven, whatever. And then it has a cool feature here. Now I don't know if I can do this with one hand, but I'll try. Yeah, there we go. So you can take the back off if you, not sure why you'd want to do that. Maybe for loading and unloading because it is so tall at the back. Let's go with that. It just slides on and off. It's pretty simple to use. Harder with one hand while I'm trying to film, so give me a break. Let's see if I can do it. Oh yeah, nice, I did it. Awesome. You can see the camera here for the backup camera. We'll look inside and check out the infotainment center in a second. LED lights at the back with accent lighting. They look really good. Hard to show now because it's really sunny, but yeah, so that's kind of the back of it all set up. There is access ports inside here. You can see to get into the engine compartment, which is nice. And then up here, you've got your overflows and reservoirs. So it's all really easy to access and service, which is cool. That lump in the middle between the driver and passenger is the intercooler intake. It's right there. You can just see the intercooler underneath peeking through. So it's got, who else does it? Can-Am does that with the new Maverick R with that center mounted piece, which is pretty neat. Anyway, it's pretty cool. You know, it's between your heads and gets a ton of coolant. Now, I don't know if anybody remembers what the Maverick did, because if you put a windshield on this, you lose a lot of cooling that's going to go through that vent there. Can-Am put a roof scoop on to help direct airflow when you put a windshield on their vehicle. So I don't know what the deal is here, if there's a workaround for that, if you do want to put a windshield, if they got a plan, I don't know. But the way it works right now is really, really good. Now I haven't done this yet, but before we go inside, I will. I want to open this compartment here, and I'll get to that. For now though, let's have a look at the lights. The lights are really cool. Again, LEDs with really cool accent features inside that look really good. So excellent styling from the front. Pretty nice looking. I like the high fender look from the side. You know, it's got really, really tall fenders. It just looks so aggressive. So let's see what's behind here. I haven't done this yet. You're learning with me right now. So if we rotate these, oh, there you go. Oh, you got a bus bar, multiple position bus bar. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot else under here other than that, but that is a really nice feature if you're adding, oh, this is hinged. Oh no, it's not. If you're adding accessories and stuff, have that all right there. So that's cool. Very well thought out. There we go. Cool. Let's go around inside now. Let's take a look inside, because the inside is pretty sweet. So you do get full doors, as you can see. Very nice doors. They're nicely finished on the inside. One thing I like about it, these are finished, is that this piece here is actually like a smooth plastic. It's a shiny plastic. It's not that normal textured plastic. It just, I don't know, gives a higher quality feel to me. I'm not crazy about the little loops that you got to pull on for the door latch, but it's a minor point. The doors are very sturdy. They do not have weather sealing around them, nor is there weather sealing in here. So they are not sealed doors. I'm sure you could make something to do that, but as it sits now, they are not. So something to consider. I guess I'll go over here now just while I'm looking at it. This is your gas door right here. So behind here, kind of cool. It's magnetic, just clips in there like that. Seating, really nice plastic backed, high back bucket seats. So they've got a plastic frame in them. Very aggressive bolstering that even for a guy my size was not uncomfortable at all. Nice padded headrest up here. The seats are adjustable fore and aft. They come with retractable 4-point harnesses, both sides, which is really cool. I think vehicles in this class definitely should come with 4 points just from a safety perspective, but you got a really cool looking D-shaped steering wheel here. Faux carbon fiber hub. You can see your paddle shifters on either side. It is tilt and telescopic, the steering wheel, so that's really neat. And then you have a gauge in the middle. I'll click the key on so you can see that. And it's just loading up. There it is. So it's a full color display. I know that there's some dust on it, but not much I can do about that. Full color display shows you all the information that you could possibly need. You got over here on the right hand side is your mode selection, your gear selection. Middle is your speed and RPM. speed, I guess, and then on the left is your RPM. You got fuel, temperature, your 4x4 settings, power steering settings, all kinds of stuff is in here, and it's all full color, and it does tilt with the wheel, so that's pretty nice. And of course, the star of the show in a lot of Segways, and I can get in to show this one, is the center display. Let me just wipe this off. There you go, the full color center display. It is touchscreen. It has a ton of features, ton of different things. You can have all your engine, vehicle diagnostic stuff up here, gas, speed, RPM. I like down here, you even got your like actual coordinates, your geographical coordinates, which is really neat. You can change the brightness for your camera. Obviously your Bluetooth music is up here. I can go to, this is like diagnostic type stuff. So oil pressure, boost pressure, torque, acceleration, your roll and pitch, temperatures, overall condition of the vehicle will give you warnings if there's anything wrong with it. We'll go to our mapping here, and a lot of times with Segway stuff, the maps don't show or don't really work because there's no database in them. So I'm not sure what the answer to that is. I will know when I give you guys the test ride. I'll be able to talk more to that, but it does have GPS. I'm just not sure how it works. Go here to your music page. It takes a second to load. I don't have any phones connected, so it's not going to show you all that. Let's see, local music. Nope. Radio. No frequency. Scan. Oh, there you go. There's your radio. Sweet. It's probably going to blast sound now. Nope. Good. It's on 0. Okay, so what's next? Phone. Don't have a phone connected, so it might not show much. Recent calls. Nope. You can connect your phone. It'll show you your text. It'll show your phone calls. Comes up on screen. It was connected to somebody else's phone when they got a phone call, and it came right up on screen like my Android Auto on the dash, so I could cancel the phone call right from here or accept the phone call. It does have speakers down in here, so there is a stereo built in. So I don't know if you can take. Wouldn't it be cool if you could take like speakerphone calls on this thing? That'd be pretty sweet. And then down here is all of your just general settings. So you know, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi settings, so it can connect and get updates, maintenance alerts, general system settings, languages, media volume, etc. So that's all there. It's a really nice screen, a very, very nice screen. It's very easy to see, or easy to look at, easy to read. The touch function works great. I had my gloves on. It worked excellent with my gloves on. No complaints there. Very, very nice setup. It looks very, very high end inside the vehicle too. It just gives it a really premium look. Now, done with the screen. Let's move down a little further. So here's, I'll just give you a driver's view of the other dash. Kind of nice. Very dusty. But yeah, it reminds me of my GM pickup truck dash actually, with the two different displays. So down here is where your buttons are. This is your start button. It does have a key. So you turn the key, and then this is start and stop. You can also turn the key off and it will shut the vehicle off, or you can use this button to shut it off and leave the key on. This is your 4x4 switch here. So you have a locked rear diff, 2-wheel drive, locked rear open front diff, 4-wheel drive, locked front diff, 4-wheel drive, so front and rear locked. So those are your 3 settings. It does not have an auto locking front diff or any of that fancy stuff. I prefer this system. I like to know when my front and rears are going to be locked completely, and on this one I get to choose. You have 3 EPS settings, high, medium, and low. And it's just a rocker switch, so that's kind of cool, and it just cycles through up here, so you can see right beside right where the speedo gauge is. If I click this, high, low, medium, that's how it works. And then this button here is your drive modes, and again, it just cycles through as you click. And if you look over here on the right of your front screen, you will see it change from climb, normal, and race. And they have very, very distinct feel from those 3 different settings. And it's all just doable right from these 3 switches. They're very tactile, they feel good. Very positive feedback, so you know what you're doing. Down here you've got USB, so you've got a USB-C and USB-A, and then obviously your standard 12-volt outlet over there for whatever accessories you might have that use that. And then this is your override button. If you're in reverse and you need 235 horsepower in reverse, you just got to push that. Now, one of the cool things here is your shifter. This is very automotive in my opinion. Literally when the engine is running, you can see drive, is drive and manual, so auto and manual to use the paddle shifters. Then you've got neutral and reverse. So if I want to go into drive when the engine's running, I just push forward once, and that goes into drive automatic. Push forward again, goes into manual. Push forward again, goes into automatic. So this is drive modes up here. If I want to go into neutral, I just pull back once, it goes into neutral. Pull back twice, it goes into reverse. Whenever I start it, it always starts in park, which is just a button right here. So I push that, I go into park. That's it, done and done. The only thing I would say is that every time I go into park, it also puts it in neutral. So when I want to go to drive, I kind of have to like go twice, but other than that, it's nothing to talk about. This is actually a very nice system. The shifting works perfect. It's very positive. It's easy to understand and easy to use. It's fast when you're trying to back up and go forward. You literally just push and pull. It's really, really simple. It's basically exactly like my GM truck, which I really like how that works too. But really great system. I've recently driven a side-by-side that has a push-button drivetrain, and I don't like it. This I really like for an electronic shifting drivetrain. It's really good. You'll notice there's no low range because there isn't low range. Because it is a manual gear-on-gear transmission, they don't have low range. You just put it in first gear, which is super low. So yeah, makes things simpler. Plus, you're probably not going to be towing with this thing, so I don't know what that's all about. Up here, you have a small storage bin. This is really the only in-cab storage you've got, but it's big enough to put, you know, probably a spare pair of goggles, a juice box, maybe some Dunkaroos in there if you want. And then you've got your adjustable passenger grab handle right here. It adjusts with a bolt, so you do actually need tools to adjust it, but it's adjustable, and that's really nice. It's rubber coated as well, so it's very comfortable. I'm gonna try and get out of this in a way. Okay, so over here, we have our light switches, you know, lights, high, medium, and low. What's cool is when you put them on low, it actually dulls the screen down, your main gauge. So I guess assuming that you're probably during the day, sorry, that's not low, that's off. And you turn the lights on the gauge get brighter, and you go to high beam, and for some reason they get lower. I'm not sure what that's all about. But anyway, you've got a horn as well. So if you want to indicate to people ahead of you to get out of the way, you can do that. And then just in the center, you got two basic cup holders. The radiator is in the front of this vehicle, which means there are coolant lines running under here, and this gets crazy hot, as they always do when you have that type of setup. So something to think about. If you're putting your pop in there, it's going to end up pretty dang warm. I can't really think of anything else to talk about at this point. That's pretty much everything. I mean, you know, doors shut nice, super high quality looking vehicle, really good style. Lots of really cool features, nice features that, I mean, you don't see on everything. So that's pretty neat that Segway's gone out of their way to build a vehicle that has different features. Oh, you can see the accent lights here, maybe not. It's pretty bright out, so you probably can't see them. If I get up closer, maybe you can, but man, they look cool. They really do. Let's see if we can see the rear ones. No, they're not on. Anyway, that's really all I got to say. Now, normally you guys would want me to start this, and I would, except we're kind of in a spot right now where they don't want me to start it. To get a nice quiet spot to film, the trade-off was that I can't start it. I do have some GoPro footage that we can play that will likely have sound, and we'll have some sound from the vehicle, so we can cut that clip in so you can hear how it sounds that way. But I can't actually start it sitting here. They were kind of uptight about that. The neighbors weren't happy, so I can't do that. That's really all I got to say about this thing. So thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. We always appreciate you guys watching our YouTube videos. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to be updated immediately when we have new videos updating, just make sure you click the bell, turn the bell on, and you'll get updated. And leave a comment. We always try and reply to your comments if they're you know, respectful. And we love hearing from you guys. We really, really do. That's true. Getting feedback from our viewers is one of the things that's most important to us here at Dirt Trax. So we definitely love to hear from you guys. We want to know what you think of the Super Villain. We will have one to test. We will be able to do a full test ride on it here in the future, hopefully sooner than later. But for right now, this was the quick preview that we got at the dealer intro. And I gotta say, just first impressions, I'm very, very, very impressed. This is a really good vehicle. The performance is really great. It handles amazing. The ride quality is phenomenal, and the shocks are completely adjustable. I just don't have really anything bad to say about this thing. I'm not crazy about manual transmissions, gear-on-gear transmissions. I prefer a CVT, but it is what it is, and there's going to be a lot of people who really like that it has that, so I can't really judge that either way. It's a personal opinion, and that's all it is. But for right now, that's my walk around. I hope you guys like that. I hope it answers some questions for you. And if, again, you got any other questions, just leave a comment. We'll get to it. We'll try and reply. And other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.